Hello, this is my reaction stream to Villa versus Birmingham City live right here on YouTube. So today is the 128th second City against just a couple minutes before kickoff. Birmingham City is at 2 points ahead of Aston Villa in the league table. So hopefully Villa can win today. Come on, boys.
These special days of any season, the pride of the second city at stake at St Andrews. Sure to generate plenty of heat. Slightly earlier, they're in full voice. Sides of the divide. Special day for those youngsters as well. Now the Villa captain. That they are resting him ready. Hunter and Jacques Magoma return to the Birmingham City lineup today. Until today, Maxime Collin was an ever-present in the Championship, but a hamstring problem, one of the very few muscle injuries this season, has opened the door for Wes Harding at right back. Michael Keith-Bell is the choice in midfield, with Gary Gardner unavailable because he's on loan from Villa. David Davis back in business alongside him, while the 31-goal pairing of Jay Adams and Lucas Jukovic lead the attack. Jack Grealish made a sensational scoring return last week, and today plays at St Andrews for the first time in senior football. There is a necessary change for Dean Smith in defence. Tommy Elphick suffered a foot injury in the second half against Derby. As he did then, Corny Hawes shifts from left back to centre back to replace him. Neil Taylor is the new but very familiar face in the lineup. So there is the unusual sight of two left-footed centre backs in Mims and Hawes, and indeed a left-footed goalkeeper in Jed Steer, one of 5 to see first-team action for Villa this season. He spent time out on loan at Charlton, but no doubt hopes he'll end the season where he began it, in the Villa starting 11. Well, both are outsiders in the playoff race, determined not to become also rats.
We have to win here because we just
The wherefores of the league table are secondary. It is a game
like
that stands alone, and all the drama is about to unfold.
William Hill customers are enjoying bet boosts on their...
no ads on this YouTube channel. That's fine anyways. Yeah, no ads right now though, so yeah. There won't be a single ad you will listen to. Good for you. Not good for me, because swapping around and that. Yeah, this will be a good title though, this really will. Historic maybe? Who knows? Hopefully Villa can get the win this year. Okay.
Great scene at St Andrews, the stage set.
Let's get into action.
A contest that means so much for so many reasons here today. Both with hope yet of promotion via the playoffs. Aston Villa's expectations certainly higher, but that may be what they have to settle for at best. For Birmingham City, while their season, all their hard work is shrouded in uncertainty, it may be the case that their final position may not reflect their on-pitch performance. Into the breaches of the financial regulations should have the way to this month, but all that firmly cast aside. Uttering their Grealish got there, and Neil Taylor back in the
wearing like new shorts.
All around St Andrews.
Not so much.
Williams pocket completely to get firmly on the front foot right from the very off.
Yeah, that's what they look to do, in particular at home, and they'll make no excuses about getting the ball into Jukovic either, and looking to play off him as soon as possible as well, especially when they get into the wide areas.
David Davis, to some extent, the adrenaline may get him through today. Only his second start of the season after injury. But one local boys involved. It's Harley Dean, and now Wes Hardy.
Oh.
Well, intervenes that time. Birmingham hoping now to expose what is a real vulnerability for Aston Villa from set pieces.
Well, it's a real problem for them. It was a problem in the first game as well from what Birmingham scored from. Not just that, it's the number of goalkeepers as well. They have the continuity to use 4 goalkeepers to try and get an understanding. That creates its own problems in itself.
Continuity in goal, continuity just in front of the goalkeeper in very short supply this season for Villa. And they have to be spot on in these situations today. One was defended by Gordillo as it's back in there by Keith and now that positive character in the midfield. But just still grateful for an early feel of the ball.
What reaction? That's all right.
It's a little different time we expected at the moment at least. Means as the left-sided centre-back, that's a hiring at least to what happened when they were paired together initially last week. Well, Jim Robinson, a man concerned by balloons at this moment. The referee, he has a bit of history with Birmingham City. He sent Gary Monk to the stands in a game at Brentford. Michael Kingdom made that card was later.
Not the video, but
Didn't hawk the headlines last week against Derby because of Jack Grealish, but a couple of goals nonetheless.
no.
Grealish, special
Roger.
welcome reserve game. In every sense.
That's not a big one. That has got to be. That was disgusting.
Jim Robinson has to be the calmest man in St Andrews here.
I do not understand how he stopped his legs.
Grealish is still down. Keep them got the guilty part.
Very reminiscent of the first game between the two. Keith Bell left his marker on Grealish early in that game as well, and creates a situation at Grealish. He knows it's coming, he deals with it, then he just gets back up and gets on with it. But from Keith Bell's perspective, he finds himself in a yellow card after 4 minutes, so straight away he's on the back foot. He's really poor challenge. From Keith Bell's perspective, he's looking and thinking, right, okay, I've got no interest in going for the ball here. I'm going to leave my marker on Grealish. It's exactly what he's done. It's just this touch, it takes it away. Keith Bell's got no chance of getting the ball. It's the correct decision from the referee, Tim Robinson, to award the yellow card.
Walking on eggshells now, though. And the danger is it proves to have the opposite effect. And then Jack Grealish doesn't need a lot to fire him up. Here's Hotter. Jukovic, as you would expect, winning that aerial battle. He hasn't scored since the derby at St Andrews, but his value isn't just measured in what he produces in goal-scoring terms.
No, I spoke to Gary Monk about him, and he said obviously not scoring as many goals, but he's got into the team that's got a good point. He said, you know, he is a big reason why Che Adams is in the form that he's in. They've got a really good understanding, good partnership with each other, and it's something that's been worked on.
reactions, because that's what the talk says, reactions. I'm not going to stream the game, and the talk says reactions, not your stream of the match. If you want to watch the match, get streamed. That's it. If you want to watch the match, get streamed. Don't make people stream reactions for you. That's all it says. Reactions, mate. What do you expect?
Straightforward for the centre backs, just to pop it into midfield. Jack Grealish having a drop very deep here.
Listen, just get out of the luxury if you're not gonna. No.
Dean Smith will certainly hope
No,
that
I ain't
doesn't
doing that.
continue.
I ain't doing that. I want to watch the game, just get short. That's it. That's it.
Albert Adoma.
Don't be looking for some side reactions in the tournament and expecting it to show
A
much.
very experienced campaigner like Lee Camp.
Well, has been a good start for Birmingham. They have been on the front foot. You can see they're one of the team that are doing the most pressing at the moment. A lot of teams have come here recently and showed Birmingham a lot of respect actually sitting up, because Birmingham don't like to dominate possession. They like the other team to dominate possession and then get forward on the counter themselves.
I can't.
Ghazi. Not given much room for manoeuvre by Clifton though. Camp has to get there, and get there he does.
Mate, it doesn't say match live stream. It says reactions. Get out the chat, because I'm telling you this. It says reactions. You know, it says reactions. What do you expect? It's reactions. Nothing else.
Don't be fooled by the
Recording
sunshine,
the game
by
is
the way.
illegal.
It is
That's
a
it.
bitterly
Leave
cold
that. I'm
afternoon in
not
Birmingham. Here is Taylor.
getting my chance taken out. I'm not getting arrested. Don't bother. The talk says something. That's what it means. That does not mean you can just go, oh
Iron
yeah,
rings underneath it.
string the match.
Davis once
It's
more.
not what happens. It's not what
See the
happens.
effect of the wind there. Sunshine, rain, wind.
I don't want views though. I don't want views. I don't want views. Simple. You want to go the game?
Forward by Mings.
If you want,
Into Grealish.
if you don't want to pay, you don't watch the game. That is simple. Okay? I say reactions in the title. Reactions in the title. Okay?
Grealish
That's
not
that.
hanging about here. Very bright and lively.
Okay? It says reactions. That's what it means. Yeah?
Well,
Simple.
Morrison away.
Stop begging me.
The high anxiety. Oh, there's an idiot on the field. This is disgraceful. The fan has run on and physically attacked Jack Grealish. An utter
The fans just
disgrace.
took this. Sorry for that. I'm just.
Well, there are lines that just cannot be crossed. And Jack Grealish has done extraordinarily well to stay calm there.
Words just absolutely fail me. What an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace to see anything like that on the football field, and the way that Grealish has reacted. Fair play to him, because I think a number of people would have turned around and tried to hit him, because that is disgusting.
Well, Tim Robinson right to check on Jack Grealish. Well, they can't believe it, I'm sure. Well, you can't talk about passion. That is just plain wrong.
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely disgusting, and he's walking off as though he's achieved something, as though he thinks he's a hero, nothing but an idiot.
Well, it's not just the cool heads of the players who has to try and keep the referee. Strong challenge by Taylor. Break it clear for
Report the channel. Wait, it's not a misleading title. Talk says what is wrong on reactions, okay? It says. I know it's not. Thing is, don't watch the stream if you want the game. If you want the game, watch the game. That's it. But watch a screen that says streaming the game.
Clifton Bell's just coming over for a word with Gary Monk on the sideline.
I'm not going to risk getting arrested. I'm not going to risk my channel getting taken down. I'm fine with the right in the chat. I'm not going to risk getting my channel taken down.
Defending it back post. That's good defending from Abraham. And the back post as well. And it's good delivery.
Times for where
Just delivery. Referee spotting something untoward.
Right, you can't report it. Yeah?
This is what happened.
It's still showing replays of that one. Yeah, that's actually
I think, I'll tell you what, you great credit as well to the steward. The steward, you see what's coming on straight away, he's going behind him. But you just see that's absolutely disgusting. It gets worse and worse every time you see it. Unfortunately, there's enough players around to stop anything else from occurring, and the steward that come onto the pitch. I shouldn't dignify him with that label. No.
I live in Birmingham, that's
Henderson making strides here. Here's Magoma.
I bet they get confusing kick
It's been a good start from Birmingham, asking the questions from Aston Villa defensively. Numerous set pieces. Oh, Morrison's completely free here. That's Paul Markin. You see, nobody's gone with him. Nobody at all. It looks as though it should have been Hawes, I think, as the ball's coming around, but he's just not able to get enough purchase on the ball to send it back where it came from. From Birmingham's perspective, a good opportunity. From Dean Smith's perspective, far too easy to get into a position where they can cause problems. A testing start in many senses for Dean Smith and Aston Villa, although Grealish making that one very notable inroad for them.
If you want to show the replays of the goals, I can do that for you.
Forward by
No, I'm
Mings.
not sure I'm doing too much.
Well, Wes Harding was at Aston Villa as a youngster, as a very young youngster. Here's an Arsenal fan for the record. Jukovic. Davis. Keegan Bell. Pedersen. Keegan Bell again. Jukovic up. That's going to be an interesting battle. Mings and Jukovic, and I think a lot of the time from both teams' perspective you can see the second ball is going to be absolutely vital. It's going to be key. Make sure you saw Glenn Whelan, he was the one that dropped in from that defensive midfield role to pick up the second balls. It's not automatically going to be the first balls, but who reacts quickest to the second balls. Dean's throw. Jukovic.
No.
Adoma wins it.
Who else is in stuff like this? You know what I don't know. I'm making a new account when I got 7. I ain't doing that. Like, that's going to take so long to everything. I do not care. I really don't care.
Twisted away there by Laws. It's El Ghazi. Dean. Potter. Some of Dean Smith's most familiar opponents today. Harding gets the decision.
I know I can have more than what I can usually, but I can't track my IP and buy every single account.
He's more of a natural centre-back. Harding, but young player of the year. Last season had a long spell at Alfreton. I don't think there's any qualms about bringing him into the team whatsoever. Himself, so, but his knees must at this time. David Davis, yes, in the year, certainly a long way from being up to the levels he would wish to reach. To take it down. El Ghazi. That was Dean. Here's Jukovic. Problem when you've got that short centre forward at times, he's the one dropping off, creating the opportunity to go out wide, but he's not able to get back into the box. James. James deals with it. What am I going to do with this? Pointers being passed on to one of his younger players, beyond Davis. Hung up by Keefton Bell.
Yes.
And by Pedersen. D. Well, the referee's stopping the game because Lucas Jukovic is in difficulty. To the head, so the game needs to be stopped. Yeah, just saw the referee, Tim Robinson, he just as he went past Jukovic, just having a look at it, he just gets caught.
If you really do want to watch the game,
whatsoever, but it's just from the referee's perspective, as he's running up the field, just takes a look at Jukovic and then, well within his rights and the correct decision to stop the game.
yes, it is.
So Jukovic receiving some running of repairs. Grealish just getting a few instructions from his head coach. I'm sure just checking if everything's all right. He's reacted in supremely cool fashion to a horrible incident which just has no place in the game. It doesn't, and people will say, well, how has he got in the pitch in the first place? Well, those things can most certainly happen. It's just about how everybody else then reacts around it, because it's disgusting. Absolutely, it doesn't get any worse than that within a stadium with supporters. And you can see it's an opportunity that Villa have had, and then the ball goes out of play, and then he just comes running from nowhere, and there's a free hit in Grealish, and you can see the intentness there, and it's just absolutely shocking, absolutely disgusting. It really is. And then the way that Grealish he deals with it, the steward then comes on, and the rest of the players are straight there as well, but there's no place for that whatsoever. It's a cowardly criminal act. Now, let's hope it gets dealt with appropriately as well. Well, we know already what will help the headlines, unfortunately. Whatever happens on field in the next 70 minutes, so one goal short of his, or equaling his best ever season at this tally in goal scoring terms, but in terms of making things happen for others, he's had a truly special season. He has, and he's got the joint second most assists in the league as well. Getting no decision in his favour.
Great ball. El Ghazi!
Oh,
Recapture Birmingham's rescue, but brilliantly created.
Brilliant from Grealish. It's great movement from El Ghazi. See El Ghazi just starts on the outside of Harding and he makes the run inside. It's a wonderful ball. Doesn't connect with it fantastically well, but give great credit to Camp because he's quick off his line. But what a ball from Grealish. And Camp then makes the save.
Birmingham had to defend this right. They take the low road, and Shea Adams is there to sweep up. A disappointment from Villa's point of view that they didn't make more of that opportunity. This is Neil Taylor. El Ghazi. Taylor bypassed. Adams. Man in top form at the moment. I think he was perhaps even by his standards being wildly optimistic. It's a measure of Adams' exploits this season that it is the best goal-scoring season by Birmingham City player since the heady days of Trevor Francis. And that's what goes in the colours of Birmingham City. That is as good as it gets. What a great gentleman Trevor is as well. As well as a great player. Well, plenty of discussion. No, I'm right, mate. I'm right. Well, to say Tim Robinson has his hands full is the understatement of the season.
I think what he's just trying to do is continuously just going around, trying to calm down the situation. We just had a between two players that just continuously pointing at each other.
not a good performance.
Yes.
This is better for you. I think it's a goal soon. For all the same, I just want to
Up on Majukovic. Here's Magona.
get it.
Grealish back there. A telling intervention by Magona trying to steal in, and Villa was suggesting he used his arm in doing so. It certainly looked that way.
I think we've seen that Magoma and Hodgson at times they create pumps because they come in really narrow and it's very difficult for them to be picked up. And just saw a prime example, Magoma drifting over from the left-hand side, and that's where the communication becomes so important for Villa in that midfield area.
Oh, and Adams loitering. Well, the intent was there, the contact wasn't.
I think when you look at centre-back partnerships as well, always think the worst. And you just see here, it's exactly what means. Does he makes sure that that ball's been flicked on by Jukovic, and he gets himself in a position where it's not easy for Adams to take advantage.
Well, two of the new boys captaining the defensive ship for Aston Villa. Too much I know lots of people will talk about the absence of Jack Grealish this season for Dean Smith and what a problem that has been, but he will talk about the extraordinary number of different defensive combinations Aston Villa have had to field.
Well, we mentioned it once, I think it's worth mentioning again. 15, and that is incredible. It's very difficult to get, consistency. Going forward, it's more playing off the cuff, so there's no problem, you can deal with that. But defensively, you want the shape, you want to know the strengths and weaknesses of the partner, the left back, the right back, and he's just not been able to get that really at any point this season, whereas it was a real strong point of theirs last season.
Well, Dean Smith put it very pithily that before Christmas, our only fixed centre-back was playing for Hull, Tommy Elphick.
Well, they had a four-game spell where there was 4 right backs within the back 4.
James Chester did really put himself out to play at points before his more definitive injury. Here's Taylor. Abraham. Adoma. Al-Mohammadi once more. Foul given against Christian Pedersen.
Got no snow for this guy. Nothing's happening. Nothing at all. It's annoying.
Well, they're going to make the trip, the two centre-backs. Wallace on the right there's been playing mainly at left-back, almost exclusively at left-back till this game in the last quarter of the last one. Grealish got a deflection. Jukovic is keen to take charge of the situation. We talk about Aston Villa being quite weak defensively from set pieces, they might have conceded, but they're right at the top. As good as at the top, they're actually attacking set pieces, which makes it all the more bizarre. But that's when you go back to the defensive stability in the organisation. And you look at that, it really is incredible. You would never think that they conceded one of the most from set pieces, but like I say, it's the communication and getting used to each other at the back. So that will go Villa's way. Throw in.
Since there nothing yet happened. And we're going to push ourselves.
Certainly heard the challenge as much as anyone felt it.
Oh! Tommy!
He's saying quite clearly that it got a touch off a Birmingham City player.
It's a big chance. This is a huge chance. You see the challenge that comes in here from Pedersen, and the ball's spinning everywhere. And just see Morrison's just trying to be a little bit too clever. Instead of clearing it, corner, and he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to hit the target.
Well, maybe a touch of disappointment in the sense that he didn't hit the standards he's set for himself. Because almost no matter the degree of difficulty these days, you expect him to put any hint of a chance away.
That's a bit drunk. Right.
Actually making the right.
Just look down.
Out to Hotter. Pedersen. Hotter again. Over on that left-hand side at the moment. Well, he is someone who plays from right rather than out wide.
He's not got into the game really as of yet. We know when he's at his best. He's one of the best in the championship. And as of yet, he's not really got on the ball enough. And I think you've got to give credit to Villa for that. You've not allowed him on the ball.
It's better than 1 goal in 3 from his role for Dean Smith at Brentford. So the Villa players will certainly be well briefed on how to handle it. Well, Adams, the ball into a very penalty area. There's clanks going on there. Jokovic and Hawes.
I'll be a little bit disappointed, Adams, because he's gone in behind Taylor. Taylor's gambled and gone out to Hotter. That leaves the space for Adams to get into. But then give credit to Hawes, and then there is a coming together between Hawes and Jokovic. And not the first time and won't be the last time you see that in the 18-yard box.
Ryan chasing. Keeping Bell has to be sure. Just a little update for you from West Midlands Police. A man has been arrested and is en route to a custody block as we speak in connection with that incident involving Jack Grealish. Very sad incident. Sad that he has to deal with things like that, and it hasn't been the easiest week for him in the build-up to this game.
Reactions. Or if you're watching on desktop, down here, reactions. Link to what?
Adoma. Forward by Dean. Courtney Hawes winning that aerial battle with Lucas Jukovic, who obviously now with the headgear isn't perhaps at full tilt in that regard. Sort of got on with it too quickly for the referee because there were some conversations he needed to have. David Davis in particular. Well, to follow today, two encounters from the Premier League. Chelsea against Wolves. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock on the Sky Sports Premier League channel. You can see that game on main event as well. Arsenal Manchester United, the enduring rivalry in the Premier League era. 4:15 coverage begins, but that one kick-off is at 4:30, by the way. Slightly irregular diary on some days recently. Here's keeping well. Magoma. Disbelieving. Well, they work in into the wide area, and Abraham's complaining. You see, he has kept his arm away from Magoma, and that's, I think, the frustration from him towards the referee. It's been a game just littered with fouls, hasn't it? And there's not been a real tempo being able to be set up for either team to get into the stride. And set pieces so far, more often than not, have not the best opportunities. Really involved in a lot of conversations with the referee. His new role as the permanent captain of Aston Villa. Big decision for Dean Smith, who opted against in his latter period in charge at Brentford.
Asked him why he gave it to him, and he said it was all about his leadership skills. I thought they were there for everybody to see.
Dean at the back post. Here is Grealish. Abraham.
The problem that Villa are having at the moment, you look how deep Abraham's dropping. He's dropping so deep to try and get himself involved, but when he does that, it becomes very difficult for him to then to have a focal point.
Jukovic. Well, he's involved in a conversation with David Davis at the moment. Abraham. Jukovic. Hotter. Davis wants it. Now Harding. Oh, see it. Away by Tower and Riggs. A real precious play from Harding.
It's good play from Harding, far too easy for him to get past those guys. I think that's one of the things that's been levelled at him as well, with the defensive side of things. He doesn't seem to help out too much.
It's beaten again, as is Taylor. Well, managed to beat him with the ball, but couldn't get beyond it. Hotter. Way by Wheeler. Pedersen. Maybe a bit far out for that. Birmingham City supporters. He's only got one goal this season, Pedersen. He's trying a bit closer range than that against Villa Park. Davis. Now Agoma. Agoma away from Agoma. It's Adams.
Clear.
Very coolly done.
Clear.
Into El Ghazi. Harding and his back was a problem, and it means Birmingham get it back. Oh, that's a good ball into Adams. Now. Whelan's challenge is clean. Agoma. Will fall for Otter here, but El Ghazi's on hand. Taylor. Up to Abraham. Villa looking for an outlet. It's one of Birmingham's better spells in open play.
I think one of the things from Birmingham City's perspective, they have better opportunities of getting forward or actually down their right hand side. Because what's happening, El Ghazi isn't tracking back, and that means that Taylor's then been dragged out to Hotter, and that's why Adams is able to get down the outside. It makes the centre back, because Taylor's getting dragged out. He needs El Ghazi to just drop back a few yards. Because like I say, I think that's the best opportunity in the best area so far for Birmingham to exploit.
Vukovic down again. Taylor. He's seeming quite concerned. He's in pain himself, but what a day it's been already for Lucas Vukovic.
You just see it's when Taylor falls. So I think he just lands. Just there when he comes down. And Vukovic down, that's the painful side of things.
He's fine. He's fine.
Very proud. Vukovic. £1 million teenager when he went to Everton. Well, Grealish just between there. There's a discussion with the fourth official. Richard O'Kelly with him, the Villa assistant. Well, Pep Clotet is angry. Gary Monk isn't exactly thrilled with life. He's certainly making his point to Gavin Ward, the fourth official.
I think it's when the game was stopped, I think then there's a frustration that it was just the ball being played back from the Birmingham City player, whether it should have been a drop ball that was contested, or even the fact was there throwing.
Well, calmed out, easier said, it would appear. Abraham's offside here.
This is probably the most boring derby I've ever watched. I didn't watch it at St Andrews last year, so boring.
James Beattie perhaps suggesting that nothing he says is going to change matters.
Maybe the East Midlands.
Vukovic again. That's tremendous work in the end. Well, he may have a bit of a physical battering in this game, but he's certainly not been cowed by that, Lucas Vukovic. He's
Ridiculous.
a very key figure. Still on the right side of 30. Gets his head on it. Forward by Adams, we go, we're loitering with intent here with it, bouncing. El Mohammadi. Adams, will set his sights here. Oh, not far away, he certainly caught it. And they won the ball back well, Birmingham. And it's a good strike from Adams. Leeds there has it covered, but he's just dropped a little bit deeper in this situation, getting away from the two centre-backs. It's a great strike, had stayed worried. And like I said, I think he had it covered. An extraordinary season for him. Already more than double his output last year. And so another 6 weeks left. Well, Gary Monk sat down with him, and so did the other coaches that before the Leeds United away game. And he said, you know, you can't wait for it to happen, you've got to go and make it happen. He scored 2 goals in that game, and he's not looked back, and I think he's matured so much over the last few months. I think he's moved to the area now as well, and you know, I think that has a big part to play in it, and they're absolutely delighted with the way he's training. They say every day he trains how he plays, and that's a huge thing. Unfortunately now, I'm sure the question will be, how long can they keep hold of it?
Got me tired, got me stressed, got me everything now. Nearly off time, about a minute I don't know or so. But 15 seconds in regular time.
Again, Jukovic a target. Again, he gets his head to it first. Morris. Edison. At least another 3 minutes here.
3!
Looking to make those extra minutes pay. Came off Jukovic. Well, Mings is playing a waiting game which could have been dangerous.
Jukovic is
Consider that painful one for Jets here. Jukovic is certainly going to get plenty of grief if he doesn't attempt to go for that ball.
I think certain situations you see a lot of times with centre forwards, they're trying to go through the centre back to get the ball. And one thing I will say is give credit to Stair, because he hasn't made a huge thing out of it. But from a centre forward's perspective, you're always going to go. But you can see Mings, he's just shepherding the ball back here, and he believes he has to go for it, and he does go for it. The first thing Jukovic does, sticks his arm up in the air to apologise. It's a situation with centre forward, you know, like I said, I think the manager turned around to centre forward and said, why have you gone for it if he doesn't go for it? So, correct decision from the referee, Tim Robinson, and we move on.
And it's
Painful head clash again. Jukovic is the Birmingham player down.
Can you just take him off, please?
Courtney Laws on the receiving end for Aston Villa. Well, it was, I think, an arm that caused the earlier one for Jukovic, the blow to the head that has seen him take on this very flattering new look, but this one definitely a clash of heads.
Going back where you're starting. Jukovic is just going.
Laws has just walked away, and he seems to be in a bit of discomfort as well. I think it's actually the arm, and then Laws is holding his head. He just catches in there, and it's a foul. And once again, Jukovic, he really is in the middle of it, but he's getting on with it. He's not happy, and he's telling the referee. And every time he believes when he goes up for a ball, He's being challenged illegally.
More words regarding what the fourth official. But they're the occupational hazards for a player like him.
Yeah, I think one of the frustrating things is, though, is that he's the one that's been fouled, but he ends up being penalised because he has to go off the pitch, and then he can't be there when the ball comes into the box for the set piece.
And he's a big loss in this situation. Literally.
This is probably lasted the half inch.
Oh, and Adams in behind here, but I have to say the flag didn't go up, so it's a foul that appears to have been given here.
Yeah, it's a pull. Yeah, it's a pull from Davis on Taylor, because initially you're looking at thinking that Taylor's slate as well. Good spot from the referee.
That's it. Nice cuts.
Well, we all came here hoping the football would make the headlines, and it's desperately sad to report.
No, half time. Good. Good. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Very, very happy. I'm gonna post it Instagram if I can. I can't. Give me a minute. I'll be back on stream. I'm back. Sorry for the long wait. As I said, doing what I do. So look at stats. No goals. Birmingham have won by far the better team, having 3 shots on target. Villa's 1. So yeah, Birmingham have been a lot better. Steer's been good for us. And yeah, let's check who scored. And after that, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna say that. I want them to, but I'm not going to, you know. I'll be back in a minute once I've just checked who scored. I'm checking who scored in a minute. Oh, yeah. Decisive's been the best this time. Followed by Lukan, Zukovic. Oh no, Pedersen has apparently. I lose. Villa though, it's been stable. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Don't you go anywhere. I'm back. Let's check what Twitter is saying. My prophet. Well, that actually hurts a lot now. Again, tweet out my YouTube channel. I think second half's going to start in a few minutes. No, it will be, I think. I believe I can fly. I'm not gonna. I have to say, Twitter is looking interesting, my friend.
Words just absolute.
Yeah, Twitter is very. You know what the most annoying thing about that incident is? There was more applause for that than the Justice for 21 campaign. That is absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. Disgusting how you are, as a club, proud of one of your own fans hitting a player. And you applaud that more than the time Justice than the 21st minute. It's disgraceful, it's disgraceful. Completely disgraceful. Second half's about to start.
Just in that first half, Jack Grealish getting assaulted on the pitch. Didn't even see it coming. Just disgraceful. Difficult to even call him a Birmingham City fan. Well, Birmingham City fans must condemn that. They can't be happy with what they've seen in that first half. Aston Villa fans surely be hoping that they go on and win this game and Jack Grealish steps up as he always has done. The second half comes next.
Where are they?
Your heart beats like an engine, a 1 horsepower engine. A magical luck nailed to your feet. So when that gun is fired, you run. If you see a jump, you jump. And you do not drop your driver. He's a very burly man. You cannot lose. I'm backing you to win by a length, or at least a width. Don't bet silly. Bet savvy.
Oh, just realised
winnings on the first race of every day at this year's Cheltenham Festival. Available now. The smart money's on Coral.
Sorry everyone. I forgot about ads. I forgot about ads as a student.
There is Jack Grealish coming back out. If Villa lose today, Lee, how big an impact will that be for Villa promotion-wise?
I stated before, this is I feel it's a must-win game for a lot of reasons. Confidence moving forward into the week's fixtures. I just feel that today is a must-win game. If they're going to keep continuing and pushing for that playoff spot, it's in reach. It's just it's in their own hands now.
Difficult to say words, really, to be honest with you. So let's get back to Danny Higginbottom and Daniel Mann.
Oh, we did. He was able to smile. We did see John McGinn limbering up to some degree just before the two teams re-emerge, so he may not be far off ready if he's needed.
No. Reactions. So, I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to risk getting myself getting arrested.
Tyrone Mings certainly got plenty to say at the back, directing 1 or 2. That's why Abraham has come out here. Mings gesturing him to do that. Here's Jukovic. Get involved in a physical tussle.
No.
Able to dispense with the headgear. Happily.
Well, this first half had the second half, no results.
Whelan. It's Courtney Hawes, and this is El Mohammadi.
Grealish. No, Mohamed. Gift there for Michael Clifton-Bell, and this is Michael Morris. Pause for Hotter. Wind certainly whistling around St Andrews. It's another factor for the players in a game that has yet to produce a real bevy of clear-cut chances. Well, I think what we've seen more often than not in the game is that it ends up being very much a midfield battle. El Mohammedi's cross. Safe hands from Cap.
It's close. Very close.
And a quick release, but Jukovic coming off second best on that occasion. Yeah, just saying, it's very much been a midfield battle because there's not really too many players from either team looking to stretch the game. We've spoken about Abraham coming deep, Adam or Jukovic, and that makes it so congested in the midfield area. As you can see, every touch is a challenge not far away. Grealish. It's opened up for Grealish. It's the first time really that Grealish has managed to find a little bit of space in the opposition half.
How are you missing
him? He takes him where he wants him to go. You consider that good defending, but that's what Grealish wants to do. He wants to try and be a little bit more advanced than Whelan, trying to get in between Birmingham's midfield and defence. And like I say, we've seen a couple of occasions, and that was one as well. Abraham imposing himself. That's a foul in there.
There's not a foul. There's not a foul.
Right in front of the assistant referee and Cooper. Well, man has been arrested after that horrible incident in the first half. We're yet to hear any official reaction from Birmingham City. Shandong Ren. It would be fair to say that individual represents nobody here, only himself. Wasn't Jukovic involved in guess what, another duel? Yeah, it's silly really from Hose because Jukovic is just going to look to go down the side. The ball's going to neither of them, and then Hose just pulls him back. And as we said previously about Birmingham set pieces, it's giving away needless free kicks, which can lead to danger. McGovern to feed it in there. Adams!
Aaron Mings.
Aaron Mings away. The Birmingham City sharpshooter.
That's just not working, surely.
Give the ball. Right by Wheeler. Harlan was left on the deck. Tim Robinson saw that and played advantage. Now a free kick in favour of Grealish.
Where is this coming from?
But you can see he's probably arguing the case, and I think it's actually Jukovic that pushes him in the back. And as the run's been made, you see a slight push in the back, and I think Grealish is probably turning around to the referee because Jukovic is obviously already on a yellow card. And he's asking a question now. It is one of them probably where if you haven't been booked already, you may well have been booked in that situation because Grealish was in his stride. A little bout of cynicism from Jukovic. The referee was also concerned by the fact that Harlan was fouled as well. Ultimately, Well, even less than nothing from the free kick. Courtney Morris.
Wow. Sitting very deep this time.
Into Jukovic. Al Mohammadi. Well, that certainly was caught by the wind. Davis. Not shown Grealish. And that's two Birmingham central midfielders in the book. They're the best part of 40 minutes and more to go. Just tried to rectify the mistake initially made, Davis. He's just coming back from injury, getting up to speed himself. It was his first start this week against Hull. And Grealish just got himself in the way of Davis and the ball and was brought down.
The masked man. That's what I am now, you cannot see my face.
If Grealish, in particular, gets the opportunity to lure a challenge from one of the central midfielders, he'll take it. El Ghazi. Little nudge penalised. The wind was causing havoc again. From a full-back perspective, you can't let it bounce. I must admit, I think Harden's been fortunate. I'm not too sure there was a foul in that. And I think that's what El Ghazi was saying as well. But from a defender's perspective, when the ball's coming like that, you just have to go and win the ball. The minute it bounces, then you can be in big trouble. Well, Birmingham certainly edging it in the first half. Any real aspect in which Villa had a slight advantage is in terms of possession. I think it's been a very scrappy game so far. No team's been able to get into the stride or become dominant because it's just been so fast and furious, and you see the rings not helping either. Well, it is a free kick in Birmingham's favour. Although we are in the commentary position, the ball does go out of sight in the air a lot, so we've got no idea what the effect of the wind's going to be. Look, you just see a full players looking towards the halfway line, and then they start looking back towards their own goal. You can see Mings is as good as got. Adams in a headlock and then brings him down. We did see the 30 minutes of the second half stay, trying to play out. See, that's the reason why. And an opportunity for the last set piece fell to Clay Adams. And this time, Schultz over the ball. Wouldn't be surprised at all. In fact, he fancied himself. Bringing the conditions into play as well. The stage is set for the Spaniards. Adams. Mings out and pick it off. Carrying from Clifton Bell. And they get it back in. Potter now for Birmingham. No one in the box. Oh, got it. Birmingham have got plenty of numbers back here. Beyond the head of Abraham. Well, the first real hints of ebb and flow and some good closing down there by Doma, Whelan, Abraham. Doma now operating on the left side. Grealish, Abraham, Grealish. El Mohammadi. Well, Harden in there and Abraham coming in behind him. But Campbell's with it. Can't did really well. Came out and collected it because Abraham was waiting just behind him. Well, that's better from Villa, switching the play, creating the space in the wide areas, then getting the balls into the box.
Significant little change that, isn't it? Adama and El Ghazi having a look at what they can achieve on the opposite flank.
Yeah, initially I was looking at it at first because I thought it had just come about because of the set piece for Birmingham, but they are staying there at the moment and actually giving a bit more width as well. So it looks like they're trying to drag the two full-backs out, which will then in turn create space for Horahan to try and get in between Birmingham's centre-backs and full-backs because he's getting close to Abraham.
He certainly appears to have been the keenest to do that throughout the game. The opportunities haven't been regular for him.
It seems that, like I say, he's near enough just playing off Abraham, but what you've got with El Ghazi and Adoma swapping now, like I say, keeping the width and the two fullbacks they have in the seat between Harlan, Morrison and Pedersen.
Abraham.
Do not comprehend. Do not comprehend.
Well, changes afoot for Birmingham City. Potter comes off. The Swede. Karamanchi. It's his replacement. Conor Mahoney has also got his shirt on. We wonder whether his introduction might come sooner rather than later for Gary Mann. Two Swedish international of Tunisian and Finnish heritage.
That would be Tunisian and Finnish at the same time. It's very unlikely.
Here's Horse. Carried there by Jukovic, then Wheeler. Forward by Mings, up towards Abraham. We'll go to Latron to Liz.
Oh, nearly. That was just a bit lighter than Abraham would have got.
Speak about the windy conditions, and it's definitely going towards Villa's goal, so therefore the ball held up and
no, thank you.
He's in a good starting position to be able to get there before Abraham.
There's been a lot of missed chances, not a lot on target. It's just been
playing the ball fast. It's
Well, the conditions creating all types of problems because the last thing you want to do, you've seen the situation here, let the ball bounce is exactly what Horse does. Jukovic just uses his strength to turn, but he's not able to get the strike on target.
Well, at least go for it, should be nice. I really do not care about keeping the clean sheets.
That's Morrison. Here's David Davis. Horahan gets a challenge in. Seen very little of the ball. More by Horse. Indeed, no one has seen less of it than him. And Abraham right up there as well, right down there.
Yeah, and that's why I think when you look at Villa, the wing is just playing a little bit wider now. It's trying to create space for Horahan to get through. He scored 2 goals last week, and he is a real threat. You need to get him on the ball more. And I think in order to do that, you've got to try and create more space. And from Villa's perspective, they're trying to separate the back four of Birmingham to be able to do it.
Last season, Horahan got the best goal return for Villa for a central midfielder since the days of David Platt.
I really do that.
Certainly on occasion would have played even further forward.
Oh.
Trouble for Horse.
That's fine.
Now maybe a different story here for the challenger Adams. It is a yellow card.
Once again, we've seen a few times letting the ball bounce. He's done exactly the same again. He's been too casual. Instead of going to the ball, he's just waiting for it. And by the time it comes to him, and he feels the pressure. Because Adams is coming down on him, and it's the correct decision again. As a defender, you just have to deal with it and then ask questions afterwards, but he doesn't. He's just waiting too long.
Is he a bit worried about using his right foot?
Well, of course, yeah, that would be that would be your answer. But I would also say the goal meet it before it bounces. And that's the biggest one, because the minute it bounces, the percentages then start to favour the forward because you've got to wait for it to come down again.
Well, to be honest, they're really quite happy he's got away with this in that incident, but you never know, with him around it could be still costly. Mings gets on the end of it though.
Jukovic is, as well as Adams, good work preventing Mings. Have an easy route back, Davis.
Those fans still going to get large to that beautiful person knows to
McGinn and Andre Green.
McGinn and Green. Ooh.
They're the two men about to
I'm
enter
going to
stage
say
left
Doran
for
Morocco
Aston
got
Villa.
it right and no? Maybe he isn't getting that one tonight. I love Conrad.
Jukovic feeling he can out-muscle Courtney Yours.
Horse is a big strong fella. You cannot out-muscle him.
So changes here for Villa. Glenn Whelan coming off. John McGinn, his replacement.
The same. Yeah.
See a deeper role now for Holland, which we'll see.
McGinn's first ever second City derby.
Now Berdoma has come up and Andre Green has
Oh,
come
just
on.
as a six.
Villa have
Really? Perfect.
a pretty prolific soft bench. And Green, you may well remember, Sheffield United certainly do, his goal in that dramatic comeback against the Blades about a month ago. Grealish. Away from Pedersen, Grealish.
Oh!
Green almost instantly.
Green almost.
Harding, I think, in the way.
Green almost scored.
El Ghazi now for Villa. McGinn. Abraham.
Oh! Oh my god.
Well, two substitutes right in the thick of the action immediately. And Birmingham survive. Abraham in the process.
It's an instant impact near enough from both subs, both getting involved. McGinn just plays the ball through. And it's Abraham that wins it. This is the initial one. McGinn and Green both linking up, and then Green carries on his run into the middle. Grealish finds him. Could give great credit to Harding, the fullback, because he's got inside that far post. There's only one place that was heading. If he wasn't there, and that was into the back of the net. Well, like I say, almost an immediate impact. Now the two Villa substitutes in Green and McGinn.
Extraordinary stuff, but deeply concerning stuff here for Aston Villa.
Come on, Sammy, don't be injured. Not like Sammy, please.
It's the coming together camp. He throws himself across goal as Abraham goes for it, and his 2 feet just go well. I don't think we need to say let it go, but it's definitely a painful one. Abraham, it looks as though he's okay to continue.
He's going to be bleeding for that after that.
Well, suddenly though, the sporadic threat that Villa have had during the course of the game became, well, as dangerous as it has ever been.
I think what you do when you bring Green on, when you bring McGinn on, you bring a lot of energy. You know, and I think that's what Dean Smith's looking at. By bringing these two players, can he change things? As in terms of getting Villa on the front foot, I might say the opening few minutes, the two players coming on would tell you there's a great chance of that happening.
Well, it's a compliment to their performance last week, the fact that McGinn is on the bench, and Dean Smith has described as their most consistent player this season.
I love the shorts that was out of control.
Jukovic, away by Mings. Here is McGinn. Well there, Grealish. Abraham. Well, just deserved a little better at the last there, didn't it?
That was a chance. It was a chance. We speak about Abraham plays getting beyond him. And what he did, he dropped deep this time, and then Morrison went with him. That left the space for McGinn to get into. Well, he just wasn't played down the right side. Well, you just see straight away the link up with Grealish and McGinn. And McGinn has been one of the standout players for Villa this season.
Excellent work again. Neil Taylor. Grealish. On he goes.
Yeah! Yes! Yes! Yes, Super Jack! Yes!
Sweet, sweet moment for Jack Grealish.
Yes! He's done the double over blue! Yes! Yes!
Took his time, but he used it to perfection for us.
Yes, boys! Get in! Jack Grealish!
It's been coming the last few
Jack
minutes.
Grealish!
Dean Smith's substitutions have had
Yes!
a real impact on this game. It really was wonderful play for the man of the moment.
Oh my god!
Birmingham's perspective, they'll be really
I just had
disappointed
street
because when
out.
Grealish picks the ball up,
Just not-
nobody goes out to him. We talk about
I'm
McGinn
going to show
having
this.
that impact. When Grealish picks a bus to go out to him, when he's there in the box, nobody takes a decision to go out to him. You're thinking to yourself, can Davis get there? He doesn't.
Yes!
Looking away from Grealish,
Yes!
that time and space. And you
Get
can
in!
play that time and space, because if you do,
Super Jackie boy. He runs into the crowd. He runs into the crowd.
Bedlam in the corner.
His first game at St Andrews, and he scored.
Oh, yellow card.
Player on the pitch.
On an occasion such as this would be
Anything
a
close.
minor issue, but having suffered in the first half, he has produced the critical breakthrough in the second, and well, you do just wonder whether he's timed his run to perfection coming back into this Villa side at a critical point in the campaign. Here's Magoma. Foul on Al-Mohammadi. Well, you have to go back to 1977 for the last time Birmingham City came from behind to win a second city derby. Trevor Francis won and converted the penalty that did it.
Last time Villa went from behind to win a derby was in November. Shows how good Villa have been. Pick up, pick up.
Beat Derby last week. Another of their rivals in front of them this week. Nottingham Forest to come in midweek. Could this be the point where they begin a really decisive spurt towards those playoff places?
well, a win today puts them within 4 points from 6th place, and
We try
those are the games that they've got to come up. It's a big week.
You
It's a
are
huge
a
week coming up for a number of
second
teams.
from
And
the
it's a
stands of
big-
Liverpool.
After that, the international
Games against Middlesbrough and Bristol City still to come. But still to come, 20 minutes at least of frenetic derby football. That is what lies ahead in the longer term. Adams goes down. The referee sends goal kick. I think
The referee's in a very good position. He has a long, good look at it. And you'll see this, the arms. One just has to be careful because he does go with his right shoulder and just gives him that little bit of a push there. And I think he's been quite fortunate to not give away a penalty there. That's okay, but then it's just that little bit at the end. He gives Adams the push, and you can see the frustration from Che Adams. And the referee's in a good position, and he decides it's not a penalty.
Conor Mahoney has replaced Shaq Magoma for the final 20
They've
minutes.
dominated
here at
us.
St
They've dominated
Andrews.
us completely.
Conor
Abraham now playing very much as the deepest Aston Villa midfielder.
They've been so better. The fans have been better than this system.
Mings,
They've been absolutely
Taylor.
better. And yet we've
Taylor again.
In no small part due to that.
Birmingham ball.
In no small part.
I think, like we just said there with Horan now, he's the one that will sit in. Grealish will go forward, and then a lot of the time, when Abraham drifts into the wide areas, that's where McGinn will be the furthest forward midfielder, near enough going into that centre forward position, and then Grealish just looking to dictate in between Birmingham's midfield and defence. Bell trying to secure possession. He will secure nothing, not even a free kick. Ali D. Jukovic. Well, the sting taken out of it by Courtney Laws. That does really well initially to take it down and get away from Mings, but like you say, the shot's going through. Any power on it's taken off it, and the boot with Hawes. Still putting himself about. What will certainly give Birmingham City some confidence is the number of leads Aston Villa have let slip away this season.
It is ridiculous. And the Dino, apparently, we have not let a lot of leads slip. In memory.
23 points they've dropped when they've been ahead. They've lost to Leeds, they've lost to Norwich, they've lost to Millwall.
Albion. Forest. Norwich.
Again.
Leeds. And QPR. And Preston. That's it.
Again.
Not seen that.
He's done very well. They're backing off. Eventually the block from Rapti. Jukovic will get there first, yes. Grealish getting back there. Dean's challenge, advantage played. Pedersen is there.
Oh, right.
Green. Challenged by Morrison. Abraham. McGinn. On by Taylor.
You can see it.
From Rapti. The slightly fresher gets back. Showing from Joe Gottens in Sweden. Seen a lot of in the past as a number 10 and a number 9. Talking of number 9s, was the Birmingham number 9 fouled here?
Yeah, I think you can see it's Hawes who's going back with him, and initially it's okay, but then it's the elbow right into his back. You know, and you can see it. You can see from a different angle. There's a couple of small pushes on him, but then it's the last one. He really pushes into his back, and that is a penalty. The more you see, the more you can see. You can see the extra one just at the end by the elbow, just shoving into Adams' back, and the referee's in a good position. He's decided not to give it, but in my opinion, I think that's a penalty.
Well, of all the people here, I don't think anyone other than Tim Robinson would want to be Tim Robinson today. Onerous responsibility. Jukovic, Adams, Kieftenbeld. Here's McGinn. Abraham. Kept it alive here for Villa.
green.
Running.
Grealish again. You'll see that.
Off the ball! Oh my god.
A matter
Green.
of inches.
Nearly started screaming.
Birmingham still in the derby as a result.
Leon Grealish is starting to get more time and space now because he's got more runners around him. It's a great effort from Horahan. Just hits the crossbar. You see exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to just curl it into that far post. Just too much on it. Villa, definitely the better team, the team in the ascendancy, and I'll be delighted so far with the impact that his substitutes have made.
Grealish.
He's going to make an impact. He might step onto his arm.
He deserves it as well.
You're going to be penalised for that.
You just see Ings and Adams coming together again. It's just when it bounces up, it's Adams' arm, and I'd say always going to have a handball given against you in that situation.
Really, 100 minutes.
Oh, keep going. They are
Oh, probably he's coming on.
a team that have got plenty of grit about them, Birmingham City. Certainly there is a pride back in this team for the supporters. What they've given them this season has been absolutely excellent. Odds certainly tipped against them. Well, Birmingham are in the very near future going to introduce Craig Gardner, familiar face to the Aston Villa supporters. Did play in Birmingham's last win in this fixture, which is, was in December 2010.
2010 since last year. 10 years.
First to get up to speed, but he's a man as well versed as anyone in West Midlands matters. Well, the corner flag, I think, is blown over.
Corner flag.
Well, I'm going to assume it's blown over because it is a bit of a windy day, but there you are, back in place.
100 minutes round. Big minutes round. And there's 11 minutes left till time, which will be a fair amount, I have to say. Well, I don't like to say that, but there will be.
Abraham. There's Morrison.
Abraham's come more into the game as well.
I am sorry about the rain. You can hear it is annoying me.
He's had support. I think in the first half, a lot of time it's difficult for Abraham to get support, so he was dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. Whereas now he is higher up the pitch.
No, look it out.
Grealish.
Grealish is just so happy with himself, right?
Smile on his face at the moment.
His hair's a mess.
10 minutes or so away from being the match winner. What was that all about?
The foul's given here, and it's just as he runs when there's a rugby tackle. I think Grealish didn't do anything to get out of Craig Gardner's way initially, and Craig Gardner's just decided, no, a rugby tackle then.
Oh, Six Nations weekend, of course.
So,
Sutton has sent him off piste a bit. Here's McGinn. Taylor.
He's been excellent since he's come on, McGinn. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's pushing a lot higher. He loves to get high, wins the ball higher on the pitch as well, and it's had a real positive impact.
He's struggling a touch. Jack Grealish, bit of cramp apparently is the word we're getting from the bench. Remember, he's still early days after 3 months out.
I think when you're looking at the goals, when a player like Grealish gets the ball, the last thing you want is for him to run into the box. But Davis, it looks as though he's going to go out to him, and then he just shifts over to his right. That then creates a space for Grealish to go into, and he takes full advantage of it. And doesn't he love that?
There's a few others who did as well. Buki Bjarnason is getting ready to come on.
Wes Holden's been exceptional for them. Their man of the match,
There's another man that Villa have not seen a lot of this season.
Bananas.
So the curtain call for Jack Grealish, and what has been, to understate it, a very eventful afternoon for him. But he may well have the last laugh. Buki Bjarnason will get an opportunity.
We got injured, didn't we?
First senior game on the ground of Villa's great rivals. And it's one that he won't forget.
I think obviously what happened in the first half, we don't want to talk about it anymore, it's been spoken about enough. I think the way that he rose again from that, his character, talk about Dean Smith, I asked him about the captaincy and he said he's a leader. It didn't faze him, and I think if anything probably went the other way for him and said, you know, okay, well I'm going to leave my mark on the game, and it's exactly what he's done.
What?
Arahan's left foot. Oh, this could be interesting. Rapti's after it. Taylor has to deal with it. Oh, you're hearing the effect of the wind that we've been feeling and seeing. Birmingham fans want a bit more urgency. They want to hurl it up there towards Jukovic. Rapti. Adams. Mings at his back. He's found a way across. Mahoney. Pedersen. Mings is up there. The delight that they dealt with it.
He's been brilliant at the back. Mings been absolutely brilliant. Right. Obviously on loan from Bournemouth and a really bad injury, but he has commanded that area when balls have come into the box. So he just gets himself into a good position once again, because Hawes is actually out of position. He comes across, no complaining at all from Che Adams. He's great defending.
Bjarnason. It's Harley Dean for Birmingham City. El Ghazi.
Everyone's got a header that side. I'd say that, boys. I was mildly wrong with my prediction. Messi out there, Messi goes. Is it typing? Johnson.
Away in the end by Morris. Conor Horan. Away by Jet Steer. He's behind you. Yeah, Anderson guilty of the foul on Shea Adams. Now towards Mahoney, but it's Al Mohammadi who will win it. Here's Green. Jukovic. Mahoney. He's round the cross. Adams twisting. Excellent work. Finds Jukovic here. No takers, but Mahoney can return it into the danger zone. Cross again, Gardner! Well, Phillips survived an almighty scare. One of their former players on the end of it.
What a chance. Originally, it's wonderful play from Jay Adams. He drags Mings out with him and then he plays a great ball through. And Taylor, there's a man playing him on side. And then it comes back again. This time it's Mahoney. He puts it into the box and it falls to Gardner. And the players get there as quick as they can. But he just can't get over it, Craig Gardner. You see, just as he hits it,